Coming up today, we're chatting with Isabella Manfredi ahead of her gig tomorrow night at Lizottes.
I think there's a lot of disappointment and a lot of grief in separating from the band.
I'll tell you about a fresh tour announcement, and Dan will tell you about Belinda Carlisle's rescheduled date for Newcastle. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai land, this is The Good Stuff powered by BYD on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good. Good
stuff.
The good stuff. Guess what? Adam Newling's just announced a tour that will hit Newey in January. The regional tour will celebrate his new EP called Dorothy Painted Portraits. Adam Newling will play King Street on the 12th of January. To find out more and grab your tickets, head on over to newcastlelive.com.au.
Newcastle Live. Newcastle Live.
Ex-frontwoman of the Preatures, Isabella Manfredi will play a show at Lizottes tomorrow night. I was super lucky to have a very candid chat with her earlier this week. Here's part of it. It's so great that you're back out on tour. I actually sure that it's going to be a really emotional night. Like getting to see you live again, it's just been such a long time. So Cal and I are really looking forward to this Thursday. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the first proper tour I've done in 5 years.
That's
So
amazing.
I thought it'd be a bit more emotional for me too, maybe, but I think because I'm just taking it so slow and so easy, like this re-entry back into playing live. And I wanted to give myself a challenge, which was doing it on my own and playing, like I play for over an hour. I play for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
On my own. My realization is that I fucking love it. I love it.
That's so
I love
good.
it so much. It's been nice. It's been nice to come back and go, oh, nice. This is where I'm meant to be. This is what I love to do.
And the thing is, you didn't really transition, right, from Preachers to Isabella Manfredi. You really had to restart because, I mean, between that, there was COVID, you went and had a little baby, and just so much happened. So has it been overwhelming or frustrating having to go through that whole process again?
There's a lot of there's a mixed bag of feelings, and I try and own all of them about the process. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of disappointment and a lot of grief in separating from the band because I love that side of myself and I loved performing as a group. I definitely miss it, and I definitely missed it trying to take another band out on the road. You know, it made me realize I was like, I need to be so intentional about who I'm playing with and how I do these shows, because I can't just go out on the road and take another band out. That was by far more emotional for me. But doing it on my own, performing that is on my own, it's just really satisfying. And if I ever come back to a group, and if the Preachers ever got back together, I would be able to bring that back to any group. So I think it's been a really healthy, necessary move for me to make.
When it all came out that you guys were breaking up, it was kind of like we got the note screenshot saying that you were going on to do your own thing, which is awesome. But then there was a lot of silence, and obviously you were going through a lot of different things and processing some very hard truths. What was it like not having to be quiet, but having to take a step back and deal with all of that so that you could come back in?
Yeah, it was a lot. It happened gradually. Jack and I split up, and then about a year and a bit after that, I decided to leave the band and started to tell sort of people in our circle, and I guess the word got out within the community, not really the public yet, that we had split. And it was only then that people started coming to me and being honest about his behavior when we were together. And it was just fucking devastating for me at that point, because I just didn't realize, and I didn't know the depth of the betrayal. And it was just such a for any partner who's been in that position, people assume that people just assume that you're like, oh, you must have known that they were cheating or doing this or being this and being unfaithful and being deceptive. And that is part of the grief of it as well, is that you're like, oh my God, people thought that, and people think that I'm complicit in this.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, of course.
And so it was a bit of a double whammy. And then I was processing all of that, and also, processing that I wanted to have a family and creating a safe home for my, my new partner and now my husband. But look, it just happened. It had a real divine timing about it, I think. Happened at the right time. It happened when I was in a safe environment with somebody who I really trusted, and he could hold me through that. And yeah, it sucked, really sucked. I can't really put it any other way. But at the same time, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have my family. I wouldn't have this new solidity that I have. So it's, it's difficult when confronting any big change and any big, tragedy that happens to you, because it always leads you to somewhere where it was unexpected, or you couldn't imagine. So yeah, there was a bit to process. And then I naturally took a bit of time off and out, not just because of the personal things, but also because of the contractual and financial and business side of things. Just parallel to that had also, shit had totally hit the fan.
Oh.
But I don't mind talking about it, because it's part of who I am. And I love the Preachers. I'll always love the band. It's my work and it's my legacy.
It's a bloody great legacy, that's for sure. I think I read a little while back that, is this your last tour and then, for the moment, and then you're going over to the US to live? Is that right?
Yeah, so me and my family are actually moving to San Francisco for a couple of years. Well, sort of indefinitely. I don't know how long I'm going to be over there for.
Okay, we're just going to put it out to the universe that you will be back to live.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be back to play shows. I just don't know when that will be, there's kind of no plan.
When was the last time you were in Newey?
God, I can't remember. It would be when, we would have done a show there. I think, you know what? I think it's probably the last time Preachers headlined, which was in 2018.
At the Cambo.
Yeah. Newey will always hold a special place for me, because that's, that was where Preachers got our start, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
No one gave a shit about us in Sydney, but we did this trip up to Newcastle, and we did 3 shows. We played at the Great Northern, and then word kind of travelled around the town. Maybe like 2 people saw us, and they're like, "You got to see the Preachers." And then we played at the Lasso Gallery, this huge show. People just flooded in, and we'd never experienced that before.
Wow.
And then we played a 3rd gig, but I can't remember where it was, somewhere else. And then we returned sort of victorious back to Sydney. We were like, we're a real rock band now. I fully felt like that. So Newcastle was the first place that we felt identified,
Yeah.
It was great.
That is so cool. I had no idea about that.
I'll always love you guys for that.
I had no idea about that. I'm just picturing you guys playing the Lass. That's really funny. And the Great Northern, not funny, but it blows my mind. We don't really see bands of that level come through.
You know what else is funny is that gig we did at the Lass was a lineup put on by my friend Holly Rankin, who is Jack River.
Yeah.
And it was her band, her old band, a horse named Desire, I think it was
Wow.
called. Oh, we all had the most terrible band names.
Bring back a horse named Desire.
Horse named Desire before she became Jack River.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah, I think we supported her, or she supported us. I can't remember.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's been awesome to see your face, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Thanks, Bon.
Thanks.
See you there.
That's just some of the chat that we had with Isabella Manfredi the other day. You should definitely go and check the rest out by heading to our YouTube channel or via the Newcastle Live app.
This is where it sounds good.
Good stuff.
Belinda Carlisle was forced to cancel her upcoming tour, which included a show at Newcastle Civic Theatre, after she had an accident that required emergency surgery. The show is meant to happen in Newcastle later this month, but she's postponed the date until the 24th of September 2024. It's the third time the 80s star has had to postpone this tour, so we can't wait to see it in town next year. Head to newcastlelive.com.au to find out more.
The good stuff. That's it for the good stuff today. I'd love to say a big thank you to Isabella Manfredi for spending some time with us. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night at Lizottes for her gig, and I'd love to say a big thank you to you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow from 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.